Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Happy Monday. But we're going to start it off as cynically as possible. A lot of people have been contacting me recently giving their condolences. Why? Because Batwoman, the CW television show, has yet to be renewed. The CW have renewed 7 shows so far, which do include 2 Arrowverse, as they call them, shows. That being The Flash, I think for season 9. And also Superman and Lois, which is being renewed for season 3. Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, Naomi, none of them have received a renewal nod. That doesn't mean one isn't coming, but it certainly means they've renewed the shows that they're most comfortable with or they have the most belief in, and now they're sort of working out the others, whether or not they stay or they go. We do know that the CW is working on a television series based around the upcoming game, which I think is going to be a disaster because it's written by a complete ideologue. Gotham Knights, a show which is set after Batman dies or is murdered. He just dies natural, was murdered. And so Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood are left to look after Gotham. We know that they're casting other characters like I think it's Blue Jay, so they can add some alphabet representation into the show. We also just heard that they have cast Spoiler. So there's a possibility that they could cancel Batwoman and maybe move Javicia Leslie's character into that show, should they wish to. But the show is shit, which kind of goes against it. And this season's ratings are down again. Not massively, down about 8% on last year. However, the demo is down around about 30%, which is massive because it's bringing in an average demo of about 0.09 an episode, which is hot garbage. That's the target advertising demographic. Now, you may be aware, you may not, but the Batwoman's writer's room, which in itself is kind of ironic, because I don't think anyone writes that show. I just think words get put on a page. But they tried to launch a hashtag Renew Batwoman campaign a couple of Saturdays ago. And it got about 4,000. It was trending with about 4,800 tweets. That's not trending. That's not trending in the slightest. That's Twitter pushing you to the trending. If Twitter actually trended based off tweets, we would see a complete and utter different set of trends going on. The trends are manipulated by Twitter. We all know that. They have an agenda to push, as we've seen by the absolute meltdown that they had when Elon Musk purchased, I think it's 9.1% of the company, and then agreed to not purchase any more than 15% if he took a position on the board. However, Elon Musk has now rejected that position on the Twitter board, which to me says one of two things. Number one, he's going to create his own social media platform. However, I think it's very difficult to get people to move from a social media platform to another. Very difficult indeed. So the other possibility is Elon goes for the whole of Twitter and takes the job lot. But that's another discussion for another time. I'm just trying to give you some fun little tidbits to think about. So Batwoman is not renewed. Batwoman went for a renewed Batwoman campaign where nobody gave a shit. And it was trending with virtually no tweets. And then suddenly, a couple of days ago, this article pops up on CBR, which is, of course, shill site. And let's just read this headline. Batwoman's Javicia Leslie responds to resurfaced video of her struggle against racism. What a coincidence! As the Ocean Man song goes. What a coincidence. What a coinkydink. With Batwoman teetering on the verge of cancellation, the CW, they've played a couple of their cards. It seems like they've only got one card left to play, and they put it down and it said race on it. They played the race card. Could this trump whatever the CW network has planned for the show if it means cancellation? But what an unbelievable coincidence. Batwoman star Javicia Leslie reacts to an old video wherein she discusses her struggles with racist backlash following her casting in the CW TV series. In the video, Leslie tearfully addresses the racist backlash she has experienced after her casting as Batwoman. However, after 3 seasons on the CW, Leslie responded to the video with gratitude for the support of her community and fans. Thank you for this. Well, let's just go to the tweet, because we want to listen to this. So, Javicia Leslie, she's a very good-looking woman, by the way. Thank you for this. I felt so alone when I started this journey. But with you, this community, I feel completely surrounded and covered. Yeah, in validation. I pray that this work continues to create this kind of love. Thank you. Batwoman isn't a show about love at all. Well, unless you're a black lesbian, I guess. It's not a show about love whatsoever. It's a partisan, ideological, third-wave feminist, woke piece of shit. It's exclusionary. It's judgmental. It's all the nasty, horrible things that the far left stand for. It's hypocritical. Caroline Dries is a massive hypocrite. But let's just hear what Javicia has to say. Let's just listen to what she perceives as racism. Because having heard some of this, I absolutely do not agree with what she said. But let's listen together, folks.
I got on Instagram and I read comments that were just like, they just like were breaking me. And I'm a pretty tough cookie. I've been through a lot. Like my friends from college can tell you, like I've been there, you know, but just to see people say such nasty things and they haven't even seen the show yet. This is how I knew it was rooted in something that it wasn't.
Let's just stop there for now. So first of all, she states that the hatred came from Instagram, not from Twitter, not from YouTube. This came specifically from Instagram. This is what she's referring to. And she says, you know, they were breaking me and they haven't even seen the show. Now, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I guess I'll have to say it one more time. It's not people's responsibility to give you the benefit of the doubt. This character, Ryan Wilder, that was created is, and I'm going to sound like Young Ripper here, and that's no bad thing, is a tokenized version of a derivative character. Batwoman is essentially Batman, but with a vagina and gay. Ryan Wilder is a black version of Batwoman who's gay. You are a tokenized version of a derivative character. So, yeah, just purely based on that, some people aren't going to be too happy. But let's just carry on with what she's got to say. Let's just see where this racism comes into play.
You know what I mean? Like, this had nothing to do with the dislike of a character. You've never even seen the character. This was all
just gone
about
through that.
The idea that this character should be played by a white woman. And what do you mean she's black? Batwoman can't be black. And just like the comments, they just got nastier and nastier. And I would block people, but they would find a way to get to me.
Okay. Now, if anyone is making a comment specifically, a specific racist comment about Javicia Leslie and her the color of her skin, that's not okay at all. At all. But if people are saying this character, Kate Kane, is a white woman, and now she's being tokenized and race changed to push an agenda on the CW, and the CW is one just big agenda channel, that's not racism. That's not racism. You might want to play the race card, you might want to play victim, but the simple fact of the matter is, when there are established characters in canon, and then a television station comes along and says, no, we're going to change her because we want to push an ideology, then people have every right to call that out. That isn't racism. You might want to pretend it's racism because it does allow you to play victim. It does allow you to hide behind another shield, because there was initially a shield with Batwoman anyway. She was gay, but she was white. And then when Ruby Rose left, fired, whichever, then it looked like very much they were just like, well, what's kind of going on right now? Well, our shield didn't seem to work with just a white gay woman, but if we have a black gay woman, oh, we got double shields going on now. We got two things to hide behind. And don't think for one moment the CW don't think that way, because they are such an ideological network that is fucked, by the way, that they basically said, hey, if anyone wants to buy us, because, you know, we haven't made a profit ever, because we keep pushing out and churning out ideological bullshit, and our huge decline in viewing figures over the last few years show exactly how that has been rejected by what we want to be our audience. However, we're still going to push that agenda because we're activists and not entertainers, and people want to be entertained. That's what they want to be. They want to show where they can be entertained. And pushing a narrative and pushing an over-representation by a country mile of a very minor part of humanity itself, who exactly are you appealing to? Because your show gets just barely over 400,000 people on a television network with the Bat brand watching a week in total, and an average demo of 0.09, which has gone down to 0.07. And the only reason why your demo is an average of 0.09 is because Poison Ivy, an established DC villain, was brought into the show, who just so happens to be bisexual, by the way. And did people reject and come out and start screeching and shouting about that? No. People tuned in a little bit more because finally they were getting to see a character that looked like the actual canon character. A redhead, which in Hollywood nowadays is like rocking horse shit. That's how rare it is. A female redhead. Let's just listen to some more. There's just not, she doesn't really say too much more. Let's just a little bit more.
And so I had read some really disgusting comments, and I went back on set to shoot my last take of the day. And I'm in the Batmobile and I'm driving and I find myself saying in my head, do it for your people, VC. Do it for the people.
Do it for your people. Because black people are a collective and they don't have individual thought, according to Javicia Leslie. You might look pretty, Javicia, but my God, that is one of the most ridiculous comments I've ever heard. Do it for your people. Collectivism. We all think the same. No, you don't. We all have the same ideology. No, you don't. You don't speak for the whole of the black people. That sort of terminology is insanity. And then she, well, I don't have to fast forward. Let's just hear it in her own words.
And I was just like, nothing was coming out of me because you can't, that's the worst motivation you could ever give yourself as an artist.
Yeah, because you don't speak for black people. You speak for yourself.
In a scene. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm servicing Ryan. I'm not servicing every black person in this moment. I am servicing Ryan and everything that comes with Ryan. Ryan represents a lot of people, but my job is to service Ryan. And I kept feeling the block and I couldn't understand. And I got to my trailer and I just started crying. And I couldn't stop crying. Like, I was just crying. And I was just like, it's not fair that something that's so beautiful in my life that's happening has to have like this shadow on it. You know what I mean? Like, this is life changing for me.
Okay, I'm not trying to be cruel to Javis here at this point because she's obviously upset, but now we've gone into the me section. This is big for me to take this role. This is special for me to take this role. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. But the simple fact of the matter is you're taking the role of a freshly created, tokenized character. So to you, it might be special. To you, it might be big. But to people who have invested time, effort, money into following the Bat family for goodness knows how many years, and the CW just go, oh, now that Ruby Rose has left the series, we're just going to create a brand new Batwoman and tokenize her up, doesn't mean that you have to be accepted as a character. And whether or not you're conflating the criticism against the character to the and putting that criticism onto yourself is not their fault. Because I'm sure you're a lovely person, but I'm highly critical of the show because the show is fucking dog shit. The writing is a joke. The stories are a joke. We never see her doing anything to help Gotham. It's always doing something to help herself. Help herself or help her very small band. Because they don't know how to write heroes anymore. They have no idea about heroism. You didn't earn the mantle of the Bat. It was bestowed upon you when a fucking plane blew up. And the costume landed right outside your trailer. You exhibited nothing during the series of why you were worthy of it. You had one rule for one character in the show and one rule for another. You screamed about victimization and the police being brutal, but at the same time, you were the one that was carrying drugs, her character, of course, in the show when you were caught by the police, and you were the one that struck a policeman when they said smile to you or something in the show. So you the character brought it on herself and brought a lot of these problems. So it's difficult for anyone to get into a character that is literally written so badly, just like all the other characters in the show. So I'm sorry that you felt great. This is a big break for me. This is Batwoman. And then you found that there was a ton of criticism about it because your character's just a tokenized derivative piece of shite. But actors are actors and vanity is vanity, I guess.
And it's so important to so many people.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, hold on, let me carry it. Like, we can all guess what she's going to say now, and you're all correct. she's going to say, I saw a little girl. This is the story that everyone fucking says. A little girl came to me and said, oh, I see myself. I can see myself on the screen because I am black too. That bullshit story that you can only relate if you see yourself on the screen. And if you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted over the weekend. My sister sent me a text message. And she said, hey, we were watching a TV show, me and your nephew, my 8-year-old nephew. And there was a guy on the show. And my 8-year-old nephew was just like, he's like Uncle Az. And the guy was black. Am I black? No. And my sister said, why do you think he's like Uncle Az? And my nephew, 8-year-old nephew, said, because his smile's like Uncle Az's smile, and he's funny, and he makes me laugh. Which in itself melted my heart, by the way. But that's because you don't have to see yourself on screen. People respond to traits. People respond to characteristics of characters. Hence, character. You don't have to see the superficial element of it. My nephew, 8-year-old nephew, saw me in a black guy on TV because of the way the guy smiled and because of the way the guy joked around and made him laugh. And I think that's fantastic. That's beautiful because that is what normal people do. But come on, Javicia, bring on the superficial.
And there are these people in this world that want to take that away from us.
Take what away? No! Take what away? The fact that you've taken another character and tokenized it? Oh, we took a white character and we tokenized it, and now people want to take that away from us. McFly.
But then I just remembered anytime it was several things, but one thing that really reminded me and regrounded me was when it first happened, when I first was cast. And there was this little girl.
Oh, there was a little shocker. A little girl? Was she black by chance?
They had told her dad, "Oh my God, Dad, that woman looks like me," and it just reminded me.
See, whole shit. I'm not trying to be cruel, but again, I don't know how much of this these tears are legit or crocodile. To be honest with you, and I know that's pretty sad, but you know, these actors, this is what they do for a living. This is what they do. And that story just so happens to be a story that we've heard when I say so many times, from the ideologues. It's like the story of in the gaming industry, there seemed to be a joke going around because these developers suddenly started to come out going, and my 7-year-old daughter, and they all seem to have 7-year-old daughters, but it was so weird. My 7-year-old daughter was just like, Daddy, why is that woman not wearing many clothes? And they were like, I don't know, daughter. I just don't know. We're going to cover her up in a burqa. It seems to me that Javicia Leslie probably did come under some racist comments, which is not okay at all. But I also think that she's conflating legitimate criticism with racism, which is not correct at all. When you, again, I have to stress this one more time. When you have a tokenized version of a derivative character and you're playing victim, get the fuck out of here. And it's all so coincidental that this pops up when Batwoman is desperately trying to get renewed. It's just a coincidence. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.